You would think it'd be that simple, but it's not, apparently.
But it's just like, that's just dumb, in my opinion, like, that they would do that. Like, sometimes it's for copyright reasons, which, I don't know. I don't know if that's fair. I'm not an expert on the law.
On the law?
On copyright laws, particularly. But it's like, how's it not under fair use, you know? If you're playing a game, you're not, like, you're not claiming you own that game. I don't think anyone is watching a live stream of Kingdom Hearts and is like, oh yes, this is the creator of Kingdom Hearts right here. I totally recognize this white person to be a Japanese creator.
Yeah, I don't know. It's silly usually how that happens, but I mean, there's been times where like, yeah, I haven't really had too much of a problem with this, and I don't want to jinx myself. But I've never really had a problem with YouTube being like, oh, because I haven't really tried to go into kids content. But I haven't really had a problem with YouTube being like, oh yeah, you can't do this. This is kids content. You're not allowed. And yeah, I haven't really had that problem because I haven't really been doing it too much. The closest I've got is we're doing a Looney Tunes series, or let's call it Looney Tunes Back in Action. That's I think the closest we'll get. Because I think I talked with one of my YouTube people, and they said usually kids content that would usually be qualified, but since what was the thing they said? They basically said that we'll make an exception, but if you go anything more so than that, then it's probably not. We're not going to like you too much. That's basically what they said.
I always found like the kids content. Like, it's like you're swearing in your videos. It's like, yeah, that's not allowed because if you swear too much, it's like ad companies don't like that. But if you don't swear, if you're kids content, then you also don't get ad revenue. It's like, well, what am I kids content or not? Why can't I swear?
Yeah, it's just you can't swear profusely, I think is what it is. Like,
yeah, I think they've changed it. It used to be at one point where you just couldn't swear at all, and then they've been like, hey, yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. That we're trying to have this like middle ground between no swearing and no kids content.
Yeah.
But even like if you swear, apparently in the first like part of the video, that can get demonetized. If you say certain words, you'll get demonetized.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people were playing. There's a person who was playing GTA 5, and they used the C word. The game used the C word, and it was like bleeped out or cut out, but the subtitles still had it there, and that was demonetized.
Yeah, I mean, they're very strict with their policies, and that's why I'm very kind of like, okay, YouTube, yeah, I'm sure, no problem. Because this is a passion of mine. Because if you have enough strikes, they take your entire channel down with no questions asked. So, I'd rather not, you know.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a fun idea.
No.
I feel like I've also seen creators be like, "Yeah, I got my whole channel taken down for literally no reason."
Yeah, I've seen those horror stories too.
Mm-hmm. Like, it seems that they don't seem to like audio-based content these days. Like, a lot of, like, I have channels that I watch where they, like, tell spooky stories or, like, that sort of thing, and then they're like, yeah, we got our whole channel taken down for seemingly no reason, and YouTube had nothing to say on the matter.
Oh, nice.
Like, I don't know. It's dumb, in my opinion, but, you know, YouTube, they're doing what they want to do.
Yeah, you have to think about how YouTube and Twitch work, right? Think of it like YouTube as like a piece of land. You're building your house on someone else's land, and so they have the ability and right to take it away from you, essentially. But if you're compliant, which I have been, because I work with an agent to make sure I'm compliant, then all is well.
Yeah, I guess if you don't break too many rules, then you're fine.
Yeah.
And then like I think there's some leeway between like, yeah, you've broken the rule this a few times, or you've been claimed to break these rules, but then like you're upstanding, so we're gonna look into this more before just being like, yeah, nope, you didn't do what we wanted, so now you're just dead. We're gonna move
You're just dead.
um it's kind of like with Twitch. There's actually a similar thing where if you like, streamers can get emotes, right?
Uh-huh.
And you can't, like, when you first become affiliate, you can't upload automatically. You have to like upload your emotes, and then like someone has to approve it. But if you don't have any strikes or issues with your channel for a certain amount of time, then you can get it automatically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like sort of like if you actually follow the rules, and like clearly you've been known to follow the rules, then you're fine to be trusted. But like people who are newer, they don't know because they've just been monetized.
Right.
I haven't needed to upload an emote in like a few months now, just because like I don't think I have space for typical ones, and I have like, there's different tiers of subscribers you can get, similar to memberships on YouTube, but like the rewards are very limited on Twitch. So it's like,
really,
on Twitch, if you do tier 2 subscribers, you get like channel points more quickly than if you have tier 1, and you get one more emote. I'm pretty sure that's it. Like, there's very little reason to actually get the higher tiers of subscriptions, other than to like support the creator that, like, if it's someone you know or like a lot, like their content a lot, basically.
that's kind of dumb.
Yeah, it's a little dumb.
I'm not usually one to say that, but that's kind of dumb.
It's like, why am I spending $10 for something that really doesn't matter? But I can spend $5 instead.
Well, because YouTube tiers work like you can do so many things. Like you can have custom tiers. They have a couple basic ones for you. But I think that I've only used 2 of the basic ones, and that's the badges next to your name, because I thought obviously everyone has those. And then you get to use emotes. Those are the 2 basic ones I've used from them. Everything else is something that I came up with.
Yeah, the base subscriptions, if you don't know, I mean, I guess I'll explain it. It's basically you don't have pre-roll ads before the stream, before clicking on the stream. But sometimes I subscribe to people just for that, because I don't like ads.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's annoying. And like, I get like 1 30-second ad that I can't skip. I'm done with it. I'm subscribing. Which is, I guess, how they make their money. Is like they have 30-second unskippable ads that no one wants to watch, so you just like, you subscribe.
Yeah.
But like that's the main perk of subscribing on the base tier. But like there's not like you get some ads taken away, you get all ads, so there's no reason to upgrade to the other tiers. So I guess and you also get emotes. But on the base tier you get far more emotes than just like one extra with the tier 2. It's like, so I actually don't have anyone as tier 2, and I've never asked for it because, one, I think it's stupid to begin with, and I'm not gonna have like pressure people to be tier 2 subscribers because they get no rewards, or very little rewards.
Mm-hmm. So is that why you don't have like a tier 2 option on your channel, or on your Twitch channel?
I have a tier 2 option, but not a tier 3. I guess I can't take away the option, but I just don't advertise it. I don't have like, and if you go to tier 3, there's just no perks because I don't have a tier 3 email, because I haven't had anyone like, if I had someone give me a like sub at tier 3, I would make a tier 3 emote. But since no one has, and I don't really want people to waste their money on like a stupid tier 3 subscription, I haven't done anything with it. But like it's there, but I don't like promote it, I guess.
Alright, you guys heard the band. Go get a tier 3 sub. Okay, sorry to cut the conversation, but can you come over to the stupid bench? I cannot find this last stupid dirt thing. There's no other dirt here.
Okay. So if you hit tab, actually,
No, I'm hitting tab. I'm hitting tab. Where do you see dirt? I've checked the front.
Yeah, there was like a tiny speck like right here. And that was apparently enough to not be clicking. You good?
I can't leave. I'm trapped here.
No,
I'm so upset. I spent like 20 minutes looking for that stupid speck. I'm upset. I demand a refund. Literally unplayable. You also might have a more powerful hose, so it's possible I didn't, like, even if I was spraying it, I couldn't get to it.
I don't know, maybe. But I don't think with that such a small speck it would really matter what hose you have, but it's possible.
I swear I was pressing tab and it didn't do anything.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I didn't even see it when I pressed tab. I barely saw it. I was like, is that what it is? And then I sprayed that area that I thought I saw it, and then it was a success. So I was like, okay, well that didn't look anything like what dirt should look like, but I got it.
Yep.
And I think there's also like donating in bits. So there's actually even bit emotes. So if you like donate 1,000 bits, you get you can have an emote for that for people who've done that. I don't, but I have looked into it. Like I've asked someone to draw an emote like 2 years ago. They haven't done it yet. But it's like someone I know. Like it's not this person I commissioned for the other emotes. It was like one of my friends who's an artist, and they've been like away from Twitch for a while. So I haven't asked them about it in a long time because I know that they've been really busy. So I might just end up like commissioning someone for that one because I have a few people who've donated more than 1,000 bits.
I feel like I've done at least more than 1,000.
Yeah, so I feel like I should reward those people with an extra emote.
I mean, I don't watch Twitch too often. Like I'll tune into yours just to see what you're doing because you turn into my videos that you're in. So figured I'd tune in because I've seen you do Security Breach. I trolled you on Kingdom Hearts a little bit, and then I'm sure there's other games I'm forgetting, but.
No, those are the only 2 games I've ever played in my life.
Well, no, I meant like the games that I've been there to see. I saw Thief Simulator for 2 seconds and then you ended your stream. And I'm sure there's been other stuff I just can't remember. Oh yeah, I saw you play FNAF 2 as well, I think.
Yeah, because you had me do like the challenge that I think I did that challenge. I don't know if I actually could complete it or not.
You did the challenge, but you didn't beat it.
I see.
Because it was a really hard challenge. Because the first challenge I gave you was too easy, and you're like, well, this is the easiest thing ever. So I'm like, well, now I got to donate more so I can make it more harder, and I did.
Yep.
Also, I'm doing this push for fourth. So this I haven't mentioned this yet, and by the time this video goes up, I assume it's already happening. However, I'm going to mention it here anyways, and because John's part of it, so I'm going to mention it here. So I would do this for Axel too, but he doesn't, as far as I'm aware, he doesn't have a YouTube or Twitch yet. I think he's in the process of getting a YouTube channel, and trust me, getting a YouTube channel is not just signing up for Google and getting a YouTube channel. You have to do a lot of stuff to like set up a YouTube channel that you want to make content on and stuff. And essentially, I would do it for him, but he doesn't have one yet, as far as I'm aware. At least he hasn't said it to me yet. Well, what we're going to be doing is I have a 4,000 thing. 4,000 sub special was kind of already in the works, and then you guys got me to 5,000, so now I'm even further behind. But I have this 4,000 subscriber special planned, and in that 4,000 subscriber special, I want you guys at home watching either this or during the 4,000 sub special, whatever. I want, because you guys are helping me out, I want you guys to help John get to at least 1,000 followers during that time period. Right now you're around 700, right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be a segment in the 4,000 sub special. It may be a live stream. I'm not too sure. I can't confirm anything. But there might be a segment that I'm going to be called. I'm not sure what I'm calling it yet. But essentially, it's going to be a push to help John get to 1,000 subs. Now, I keep saying subs because I'm used to saying subs on YouTube.
Right.
1,000 followers which on follower or just like followers is basically the subscription on YouTube. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. If you want to subscribe, feel free. But I at least want to give him to 1,000 followers, if not more. If we reach 1,000 in like the first 2 minutes, then I'll bump up the requirement. But that's kind of what I'm going to be doing for the 4,000 sub special. Maybe in the 5,000 sub special if I figure out what I want to do with that yet, because that just happened. But essentially, that's what we're going to be doing. So gear up your hands ready for that if you have not followed him already. I know a lot of you said you have. But, this time, John, if I tell you we're going to be doing that, don't get suspicious this time. You're so, like, it's, what's the word I want to say for this? It's not, I mean, it's slightly amusing, but it's like, what's the word I want to use? It's hilarious, I guess. That's not really the word I want to use, but it's hilarious that you, like, you were so suspicious that you got so many followings so quickly, which I guess makes sense. You said the bots are more prominent on Twitch, so I guess that would make sense.
Bots are like everywhere, and like Twitch claims to deal with it, but like it's so rampant that it's like, yeah, Twitch, I don't really trust that you're dealing with it because you're clearly not.
Right, and so
there's issues where there's people who like mass bot follow, and then like I don't know. I tend to worry about that stuff because it's so frequent.
Right. And so when we push him to 1,000, I want you guys to be like, you know, like because some of you watching probably already followed him at this point, because I know a lot of you said you have. But I know a lot of you watching right now are not commenting on videos, which is perfectly fine. I don't really comment on a lot of videos I watch either. But if you're not commenting, that's perfectly fine. However, you're still part of it. You got to go follow John on his Twitch. There's always any video he's in. There's a link in the description, and in the live stream that we might be doing, may or may not be doing, can't confirm nor deny. We will probably have we're going to have a link in the description for whatever segment he's a part of. Or like, I mean, probably not even the whole segment. It'll probably be for the entire thing, I would assume. And then Axel or whoever's in that. But like I said, Axel, no one might be a part of it too, but he doesn't have anything either. And John's really the only one that has something. So that's what we're going to be doing. So just get your friends, get your grandma, get your half cousin, and then get your fingers ready to go follow John.
I didn't like where that sentence was going when you said "get your fingers ready." But
That concerns me a bit more about you than me.
Yeah.
If that's where your mind was going there.
Just like while you're saying that, but how you gonna like do that? I was thinking of like Markipliers' video is like, I won't stop talking until you follow. I think it was PewDiePie at the time.
Yeah, it was. It was back when PewDiePie was like racing against T-Series.
Is he just constantly speaking for like 2 hours about how you should follow and how you're like terrible for not?
Oh no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna probably be playing a game at the time. But like, I'm gonna have a screen. I'm gonna have another screen watching his following count, refreshing every couple of minutes or so. And there's gonna be there will be an incentive, because people have to have incentives to do anything these days. And there's gonna be an incentive if you get him to 1,000 during that live stream or whatever we're doing. A live stream makes more sense than just a regular video, but I'm gonna be monitoring it, and there will be an incentive. I can't say what it is yet, but I do know it's gonna be something pretty special. And if you want a certain video to happen, then you have to get him to 1,000. Now, if he gets to 1,000 before we even do the live stream, which I guess would be hilarious, because I don't know when this video comes out, because I'm going to be probably releasing these in like 1 hour chunks, and I have no clue how long we've been doing this, but so I have no clue what video this is. But whatever this video is, it's probably not going to be out for a little while. So I could be talking about this, and it's already done. Like, we've already done the live stream, and it's he's already got to 1,000, but at this current standing in time, he's at 700 something, right?
Yeah, I think I can look at it here, I think. Nope, I can't. I don't see it.
Oh, don't stress over. I know you're in the 700 range, though, because that's the last time I looked at it.
If I pulled up my Twitch stats, I could look at it, but I don't feel like doing that right now.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. But yeah, that's the goal, because I think it'd be awesome to not only celebrate our 4,000 subscriber special, but also have John celebrate his 1,000. He doesn't have to do it there, but like celebrate him getting to 1,000 followers. I think that'd be pretty amazing to see.
It would be nice.
And how many? What are the requirements for a Twitch partner?
Uh, it's like you need. I don't think it's even like a minimum follow count. It's like you need to have. Well, the main one is you need to have 75 average viewers for a month, and it doesn't count raids. You know how I've mentioned you can raid streamers.
Yeah, I still don't fully understand that, but I know what it is.
Basically, at the end of your stream, you like hit a raid, and then you take all your viewers to another channel, right? Those don't count for the partner push.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
And like, so it has to be like, I guess it's so Twitch will be like, oh well, this is like their own merit. They didn't have like a 8 million follower or viewer stream, raid this like one guy, and they just boosted their average to so high that they could get the partner. But like even then, it's like, because clearly you have to be entertaining enough to keep those 8 million people there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a little strange. It seems to be more based on how much money you can make Twitch than your actual merit as a streamer.
Which is kind of sad, but you know.
Yeah. But what do you expect from Mr. Bezos?
So, do you have anything you would do if you get to 1,000? Because I'm just interested now that we're talking about this.
I would probably do. You know, I've always been against 24-hour streams, right? Because of the amount of time they take. Because I don't have 24 hours usually. But
Right.
I'm not going to school this fall semester. So if it happens in that time frame when I'm not going to school, maybe I would do that. If not, it would probably be a 12-hour stream. And I would do something, I imagine.
Something
I actually, until you mentioned it just now, I had no idea. Because I didn't, like, I'm at fairly decent amount, but like, I don't typically think about the numbers, so I'm like, I don't know what I'll do. I'll definitely do something if and when I reach that.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you go about that approach too, because I've always been about the approach of like, unfortunately, to do charity live streams, you kind of need to have numbers with you, because otherwise, I mean, you don't need numbers, but like, because even if you stream to one person, they donate $1, that's still like that's still pretty nice and stuff. But like, I want to do like, I want to be like the Mr. Beast. I mean, he gives to charity. What am I talking about? I want to be like the. If Mr. Beast did like all charity videos, which he basically does, but you know what I mean. Like I wanted to say one day, like if I die, whenever I die, like if at like 86, I'm on my deathbed, you know, someone unplug my life support. No, I'm kidding. And I want to be able to say like, oh yeah, we donated like $500,000 to St. Jude or something, or to Charity Water or something. That'd be awesome, you know.
Right. So what was it?
No, there's this wall over here that's not.
Yeah, there's 9 walls that aren't clean.
Jesus. Oh, it's this.
Yeah. Charity streams are definitely something that, like, I have a lot of respect for those who do it, because it does take a lot of work, and like the people who donate are very generous to do so.
What I'll probably do, and I might, if I'm doing a live stream for 4K, what I might do for 5,000, or sorry, not 5,000, 10,000, I might do a 24-hour live stream where it's like a 24-hour charity live stream at that, I think.
Right. I had a friend who was doing.
How the hell did you?
I am very skilled. I had a friend who was doing a 12-hour charity live stream for Thankmas. If you don't know what that was like.
That's Jack's. Yeah, I've participated in Thankmas. I love that thing.
And they were doing like a 12-hour stream with that. It became a 24-hour stream. And they actually had Jacksepticeye join them.
That's like, great, man. Yeah, I mean, to have the owner of Thankmas himself come and join you, that's pretty great.
But yeah, basically, like, 24-hour streams alone, like, those aren't easy. And then the to spend your time doing a 24-hour stream to donate to charity is also really great.
Yeah, I can't. I probably won't have a goal or anything. I'll just be like, hey, if you want to donate to charity, we'll probably do St. Jude because it's one of my favorite charities. Then that's probably what we'll end up doing because usually people have a goal, but unfortunately, I don't know if we'll be big enough at that point to be able to say that we can do that.
Right. But I mean, like every little thing helps with charity sort of things. Like if you donate $5, like they're not gonna be like, you only donate $5. You're such a scumbag.
Yeah,
like
yeah. I mean, it's nice because they're like, I mean, yeah, you can make that argument, I guess, but you'd be a douche to make that argument because it's like, yes, they donate $5, but you know how much $5 can go for a non-profit business? They don't make any money off of like charging people. They make money off of helping people and being a good charity, you know?
It is this good. All these ones. I'm trying anything.
I found a rail over here, but I have no clue where the thing is.
Wait, this rail?
Yeah, this rail has stuff on it, but I'm pressing tab and I have no clue where it is, so.
Oh, okay. I saw you bit of it, but not a whole lot.
Oh, I see it now. I wasn't looking in that direction.
Yeah, I think we're almost ready to, once we finish this, to wrap it up, unless you want to do more.
I'm done for more. It's up to you. You're the leader of this one. Usually I'm the leader of Faz, but you're definitely the leader of this one, because this was John's idea. I think it's been a pretty good idea so far. I gotta be honest, when you first pitched this idea to me, because I knew what Powerwash Simulator was at that time, and I'm just like, I don't know if that's because House Flipper is okay. I can't say it's my favorite game of all time, but I knew Powerwash was similar to House Flipper, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it that much. But I gave it a chance, and besides the tech issues that it's plagued me with, I think it's a pretty distinct. It's a very calming game. That's you can easily start a conversation with. You can easily talk without having to really focus on the game. Because I wasn't really. I mean, I missed obvious spots, I guess. But like besides that,
No clue where this wall is. Why is it not? Why can't we find it?
It might be a small segment of a wall.
Yeah, it's probably a small segment and probably in like a corner. So that's my guess.
We're also missing a rail somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I found it. Wait, no, it's this rail. I found the rail.
I found the wall too.
Nice. Let me
I
find.
went over this wall like 5 times. How did I not see that?
Fun box. What does that even mean? Oh, but I see it. It's underneath the rail. Got it.
Yeah, this is the wall over here. Okay, we did it. Yippee! And my favorite part is the time lapse.
Oh yeah, let me. So what? How do I do that?
Just escape.
I did. Now what?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't show you the time lapse. As soon as you press it, there's a time lapse for me.
No, I don't get a time lapse. I just have the details and the overview.
Well, maybe because I was the one who started it.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, I can find a different place to do first to wash.
Alrighty.
Maybe I'll go one of the easier ones so you don't have such a tough time.
Shut up. To be fair, this made me a lot of money though. Like I have a lot of money now.
Oh, that's nice.
I started with 75. I have 100, 340 now.
Okay. Oh. Okay. I thought I had to resend the code.
No, I'm already in.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you first pitched this idea, I'm like, honestly, I was gonna do it for you because it's you were willing to do Faz and stuff with me, so I'm like, yeah, I'll do it with him, but I'm probably not gonna enjoy it. But giving it a chance, it's been pretty interesting.
Yeah, when I started playing it, because I saw that Markipliers had played it, and I was like, you know what, I'll try it. I mean, he seems to be thoroughly addicted to it, so I mean, it's got to have some merit. I quite enjoy it. I did the full campaign, and I especially when I'm playing it with someone else, just having a conversation, just letting it go.
And it's interesting too because not much content like that exists besides Mark's idea.
Right. There's podcasts, but like even podcasts tend to follow a structure at least.
Yeah, but you're also not playing a game. You're just talking during it. Because
Right.
here you have gameplay, which the viewers can focus on a little bit, but usually they're focusing on the conversation. So it's a mix of both worlds. It's like a mix of a podcast and a game, and like a, let's play.
Yeah. It seems that's like kind of a lot of the times what happens in Twitch streams, especially Twitch streamers that get a lot of chatters. Like I don't get a whole lot of chatters, but I get some. And there's definitely people who are there for the conversation rather than the actual game. Like I've watched streams of games that I've never even like thought of playing and never even will play to this day. But like I like the streamer who like they have good conversation. They're fun to hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like I guess there's that, where that's not as common on YouTube.
Yeah, it's really not.
It's more common with like a live stream sort of thing.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely true. Yeah. Well, yeah, because isn't there an entire category called just chatting on Twitch?
Yeah,
It's like one of the most popular ones.
Yeah, it's basically just for the streamer to either talk to the audience about something particular or just similar to what we're doing, just like follow, just talk, just chatting, as it's very appropriately named.
Yeah, I gotta say, I love videos. And I know it's to get views and stuff, but a lot of it's to help other streamers too. I love the videos that's like, oh, I supported small streamers. Like Jacksepticeye did this too, but Mr. Beast, I guess you can say, is more prominently known for it, or at least he was. He doesn't do it anymore. He does more grandiose stuff than that. But I always loved those videos. I especially love Jack's ones where like he's so, I don't want to say embarrassed, 'cause I don't think that's what he feels like, but he's like so humble about it that he's like he doesn't want people to shout him out. He doesn't want people to really know who he is. And I guess that's the challenge too. Like if you're gonna do that kind of stuff, you don't want people to know who you are, but it's donating anonymously is going to make people suspicious and be like, oh, was that a real donation? Mm-hmm. So it's just nice to see him do that kind of stuff, and he's so conflicted about it because he's like, well, I could show my name, but then people know who I am, and they know I did it instead of like just a random person. Or do you show who you are and just hope that they don't like think it's suspicious?
Right. I watched a clip. Have you heard of the YouTuber Smallland? They're fairly popular, not quite Jacksepticeye Markiplier big, but they're pretty big, especially in the Minecraft community.
Wait, say the name again?
Smallland.
Maybe?
They do a lot of challenge runs, which is how I know them. Basically, they were saying during one of their live streams where they went to someone's stream and they're like, "Hey, yo, how's it going?" They reacted with, "Oh man, you're smaller. That's really cool." And they talked a little bit, then they started lurking. Watching, for those who don't know what lurking is, so just when you watch the stream, not necessarily talking, maybe you have it in the background. They were there for like 6 hours, right? The person then goes on Twitter and be like, "This smaller guy, they just came into my stream and said hi and then left and never came back." I'm like, okay. Like, is that not, like, I'm sure that happens all the time. Like, that's a crime now?
Yeah, I think Jacksepticeye said he's gone into people's streams and like he'll say hi and then he'll like I don't know the commands of Twitch, but I think he said he does some commands and then he leaves. Which I mean, he has a bit like people like that have a huge schedule, I assume, because like
Right.
I know Jack doesn't upload. He doesn't upload every day now, does he? I think he used to, but I don't think he does anymore.
No, I don't think he does anymore.
Which
he definitely used it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I upload twice per day usually, unless there's an exception. Like either some people are on vacation. Like my brother's on vacation right now. He's well, not on vacation, but he's like camping right now, and so he's gone for the week. So all the videos this week are already pre-recorded and stuff. So technically, it's a break for all of us, which I think is it's a nice break. But I kind of miss recording and stuff because it's like it's so fun to just get into that headspace of like, oh, we're recording for the people to make their day better. That's a lot of the reason why I do this kind of stuff what I'm doing now, because I've gotten several comments at this point already saying I'm not going to call out their name because I think that's rude, but what they basically said, they were having a tough time. They didn't explain what it was, obviously, but they said they had a tough time and that they love seeing my videos in their inbox, and it just puts a smile on their face. They basically went on this whole thing, and it was super nice to just hear that from somebody, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, like, I'm making a difference in someone's life. Thanks, motorcycle. You're really helping with the moment. God, I hate people. I just hate humanity. Sorry, guys. I was trying to be, you know, nice there, and then a gigantic motorcycle went by that decided to rev their engines. But yeah, anyway, it's just, I love seeing those comments like that.
Right. I feel the exact same way. Like, I've had people, especially when I was smaller, it would really make my day, where they'd be like, oh yeah, I love watching your streams. My favorite thing to, like, they'll watch them to, like, to go to sleep. And that's when I was doing it mainly in the evening as well. I tend to do it more in the afternoon now. But people would be like, yeah, I watch your streams to fall asleep to. I'm like, that's great. That's so nice to hear. I don't take it as, man, you're so boring, I have to put you on to go to sleep.
I didn't even think about it like that. Oh, that's funny, though. Like, the way you said that, too. You're so boring, you know. You're just really stupid, too. You seen this guy?
No, it's really, like, pretty interesting to hear, because, like, a lot of streams can be, a lot of people watch streams for that reason, is to have something in the background or something to help them fall asleep. That's actually how I started watching Twitch. There's a streamer who I found, I'm not going to say who it is, but they were doing music streams for a long time. They do ASMR streams now, which makes sense, because they would also get a lot of comments where people were like, oh, I watch your streams to go to sleep to. And so that's how I started watching Twitch, is like, I would watch this music streamer to, like, help me fall asleep, and then I slowly transitioned to watching more gameplay streamers and be like, you know what, I could stream, I guess. And I started streaming, and it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't watch ASMR. Honestly, I kind of... it's not a phobia, obviously, but I really kind of cringe at ASMR. Just any type of ASMR, even kind of like soft-spoken kind of stuff. I just can't listen to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I heard that that happens to a lot of people. Like, some people love it, and some people really don't like it.
Yeah.
It's each their own, I guess. Like, I don't think anyone should be forced to listen to it. It's like...
No,
different style.
I think I told this to John, like, like off camera and stuff, but essentially there's a girl in my class in my secondary school that I knew pretty well, and she would like we talked pretty often because we were in the same class, and we were like probably 2 or 3 seats down from each other. But essentially we were like one of the first people in class, because she obviously went to the same school I did. And I don't know how it came up or when it came up, but essentially I had mentioned that, like, ASMR really kind of creeped me out. And of course, being the person she was, you know, she would, like, it wasn't every day, but there was, like, very off occasions where she would, like, purposely do ASMR around me, and it just really, really grossed me out. Just because it's not my type of stuff I listen to and stuff, so.
Right.
I'll listen to, like, rain, but that's nature. I wouldn't call that ASMR.
Yeah, I feel like nature sounds and, like, rain sounds, fire crackling, those are, like, slightly different. Like, some people consider it the same thing.
I wouldn't.
Under the same category, but I feel like that's a little different. It's like nature sounds or, like, white noise. It's not exactly the same thing.
White noise really infuriates me, because ever since I've done YouTube and I hear white noise in the background of my videos, it's annoyed me so much. I know people overlook it, which, thank you guys, by the way, for overlooking it. I can't wait to get a better mic that has spatial audio and compared to what my microphone's doing. Because right now I just use a headset mic, which means I never have to fix it. I never have to do anything. But I want a better mic where I can, you know, I have one currently, but, like, my desk is too small to really use it, and also I still have to figure out how it works.
Right. I've had like similar things. So it's like people watching the stream, they don't care, but then, like, me, I'm just like, this is just so terrible. It's usually my voice is one thing. I don't like the sound of my voice, like, when I hear it back. So when I listen to clips or when I'm doing the editing for the recording, I'm like, this man needs to stop talking. But, like, no one has ever told me that they hate the sound of my voice.
No, I mean, like, it's... I mean, to me, also, is, I don't like... This is why I think I saw this in a thing recently, that if you like the sound of your own voice in a recording, because first of all, you're not gonna hear it the same way other people do anyway, But if you like it and you can accept it, then that's one of the major importance of of self acceptance and self esteem and that kind of stuff. And I don't hate my voice. I just think I'll watch my older videos and be like, this guy's an idiot. What is he doing? He has no clue what he's doing. But I think any YouTuber or any Twitch streamer can go back to their old videos and be like, yeah, I was a big doof. I didn't know what I was doing.
That's also the case for me. It's I'll look back on. I've never gone back to previous VODs to see, listen to it. But I imagine they're quite bad.
Yeah.
They're terrible quality, especially when I was streaming Kingdom Hearts. My goodness, the VODs of those, I'm doing the world a favor not letting people listen to those. It's not even my fault. It's the audio issues because the game is so loud. I'm being drowned out. You can't hear what I'm saying. I can't do anything about the game being louder than me. Mm-hmm. And it's just it's terrible. That's one of the few things that I got complaints about when I was streaming. That I'm yeah, I know I can't do anything about it.
Right. Yeah, it's if you go back to my first video, don't. But if you do, it's it's really cringy. I wasn't like I said, I wasn't camera shy because first of all, I didn't have a camera pointed at me anyway, and then second of all, I was kind of nervous that I was gonna crash and burn. That was the one thing I had. I usually have that problem in life where I'm oh, this is gonna crash and burn. But I was honestly at one point back when I had I think 1,000 subscribers because I think what had happened was I got to 500 and then I got to 1,000. Then things kind of slowed down for a little bit, and then I soared to 2,000. Then I obviously now I've soared to 5,000, which is absolutely crazy. But anyway, around 1,000 subscribers, I was debating getting rid of my first video because I'm this is bad. This does not deserve to be on the channel. And then I'm I stopped myself and no, I wanted to keep this to show how much better I've gotten at doing what I do and stuff like that. The editing, I don't even think I edited that video at all. I think I just uploaded it directly to YouTube, which was a mistake. But
there was a lot of VODs that I had saved from my streams on my YouTube that I've unlisted now because I was these aren't good, these aren't edited, these are just honestly really crappy videos. So I'm I'm not gonna take them down and delete them forever because maybe one day I want to use the footage and then download it, I guess. So I've left it there, but unlisted so people aren't subjected to the horrors that is those VODs.
Yeah, I'm right where you're there. Like I said, I was debating on deleting it, but I think I would probably want to use the footage at one point for something. And then also, like I said before, I want to showcase how far I've come since that day because it's been a year. I mean, I can't say I've been on YouTube for I've been on YouTube for 10 years. I'm as old as everyone else. No, I'm not. But
right.
It's just I just want to show how far I've come in a year. That's why my 1 year anniversary at the end was so heartfelt because it's some people don't even get 30 subscribers in a year.
Right.
Getting to 2,000 in 1 year, that's crazy to even think that that's a possibility. I full on thought going into YouTube because to be fair, I did get 15 on my first day, but I chalked that up to luck. I chalked that up to YouTube's okay, here's a new person, let's recommend them because I think YouTube does do that a little bit. But then things slowed down for a long time. It took a long time to get to. I think it took 5 months to get to 500. And even then, I was overjoyed that I got to that number because I'm I didn't think I'd get to 100 in a year, let alone 2,000. That's crazy. And you can chalk it up to luck, I guess. But I've gotten so many comments at this point that say they love what I'm doing, they love my stuff, and I make sure people stay here too, because I of course have an ARG going on. I have I have 2 custom series going on as well, and so I make sure people stay here. But
Right. I think it's a combination because it has to pop off in the YouTube algorithm, but also you have to be entertaining and a good enough YouTuber for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of both, I think. But
Yeah.
definitely, I would say, at least for Twitch, it's more skill than luck. But then some would argue that it's less skill and more luck. Like you could have the most skill. You could be the best streamer in the world, but if no one knows you, no one knows that.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Is that's why I think another thing too is what I've noticed too is that they're not only here for me, but they're also here for the mission that I'm planning to do, which is charity live streams and donating and stuff. And I'm glad that's why they're here, because without them, I don't think that'd be possible. So.
Definitely, like having a good community is a very good thing.
Yeah.
A community who are there because they want to support you and are good people as well. Like it's very nice to see. I would say my community is very nice as well and very accepting, which is nice. It's not everyone gets that. Some people get like really toxic communities and they are just stuck with that, and then they end up either stopping YouTube altogether or Twitch altogether, or sometimes even worse things than that.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, but like that's why I can say that's why I did such a grandiose thing for the 1 year anniversary too, is because that video was 5 hours long. Think of how much of a pain that was to edit. Like no one knows. I mean, some people might have. If you do YouTube and stuff, you probably have an idea of how much of a pain that was, but like it was totally worth it. The entire thing was totally worth it. Like I think it got like 1,000 views or something. I don't even care how many views it got. It was more than usual, and it like completely blew my expectations, and everyone loved the ending of it. And because of course I showcased something at the end too that was important to my channel and stuff. So
right, yeah, I watched that whole video, and I would honestly agree that it must have taken a lot of effort, more than some people might give credit for.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I had transitions for each section. There's a part where you were in it. Obviously, you were the Faz with Friends section. You got locked out. What?
Is that video? I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, you got. Yep. The ghost locked the door on your face just as I had left, and then I had this big epic chase sequence because you can't hear it because I put music over it, but you could hear the ghost walking around, and I think John could hear it too. That's why he was like changing locations to make sure he was safe. And I made it very suspenseful because I always like to do that kind of stuff. And it was just like everyone loved that section. And then there's obviously the end part is really what they talked about, but I had someone say to me they loved the editing of that and stuff like that. So
yeah, I was when I watched that video, I was like, man, that's a lot better than I could do editing that footage. But I mean, I also am pretty new to editing, so
yeah, that's another thing too. So can't short yourself too much.
Mm-hmm. Same with like, I feel like newer streamers, they'll say things like, "Oh, I could never do a 12-hour stream," or "I could never even stream at all." Some people are like, "No, I couldn't sit there for 4 hours," and it's really just like, if you have experience, you would be able to do it better than you would think, because like streaming isn't the most difficult task in the world, but it's more difficult than a lot of people think.
Yeah,
like, you gotta be entertaining, you gotta make sure everything's going well in terms of technical issues, which is apparently more of an issue than you would think.
Yep, amen to that.
So it's like, it's not like it's, oh, you hit the button and then you play video games for 4 hours.
And that's honestly what people think. And I like, as in becoming a YouTuber, I've noticed this, and I knew that was gonna come too, so I was prepared for it. But like, don't get me wrong, I love my family a lot, but some of them just don't understand what I do. They don't understand, and it's okay to not understand. But it's just like they're like, oh, you don't have a job, or like, which is, I guess you can technically say is true, because I'm not making any money yet. But it's because once you start making money, you're qualified as a business. YouTube qualifies you as a business because they're paying you to do certain work and to do things right, which is what a job does. The job pays you to do those exact same things. But because it's so modern and because people don't understand it, they automatically discriminate against it. You know.
Right. You don't have a real job. You know.
Yeah, that's a phrase I've heard before. Yeah.
And I totally get that. Like, I feel like some people that I know who know in real life who know I do streaming. Like some of them like try to understand, try to be like, oh, you should do this. That might help you. I'm like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Like some of them, you know, they're well-meaning, but I don't think they're.
Oh my god.
Well enough to be like, yeah, I'll listen to that advice.
No, so that's exactly something that's happened to me too. Is like I'll have a family member be like, "Oh, you should do this. This would help you." I'm like, I've researched YouTube and how it works at least like 18 different times. I know you mean well, but this is not gonna work. Like, you know, and like I said, they mean well and stuff, but it's just like I know what I'm doing. Trust me. I wouldn't if I didn't know what I'm doing. I would not have 5,000 subscribers currently in less than 2 years. So.
You gotta be doing something right.
Exactly. And so, you know, I mean, again, they mean well, but it's just like, trust me, I researched YouTube I researched copyright by itself for like, because I had no clue what copyright was. I mean, I knew what it was, but I didn't understand it at all. And so I wanted to make sure I understood it before I went into YouTube. And I researched copyright and copyright infringement and all that kind of good jazz stuff for at least 3 months, I think.
It's very complicated and like it's different, like because it's laws. It's different depending on your country.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to like.
It's even different depending on state sometimes, which mine was. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's just I understand that sometimes, like I said, it's okay to not understand something, but to discriminate against it because you don't understand it, that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, you don't have a real job, or you need to get a job. You're just playing video games all day. I'm like, yep, that's what I'm doing.
Well, and back to what you were saying, too, that, like, some people are like, they don't discriminate against it, but they're like, oh, that job's so easy, or you're so lucky. It's like, lucky maybe, but, like, to say that it's easy, do what we do for, like, and this is another thing that I've had to deal with, too, is, my family will invite me to different things, like to go camping and to go fishing and stuff. And it's not that I don't like doing that anymore. It's just that I don't have time to do that anymore. Like that, the season finales that I do for the ARG and that 1 year anniversary, those took like 2 weeks to edit by themselves. And I like, don't get me wrong, obviously I was editing other stuff than just those two things. But like, there were times where I didn't get out of my chair for like 6 hours. Because I was just working on it, you know? And I don't want, because nobody's told me this yet, but I don't want people to get the wrong idea and be like, oh, well, you know, I guess you don't love us anymore. It's like, that's not what that is, you know? It's just, I just don't have time anymore, you know?
Yeah, I totally get that as well.
But you do what you can do, I guess.
Yeah, there's only so much you can explain to people who don't understand.
That's true.
But like it's a little strange. Like my dad will be like, "Oh, I watched these videos that you made." I'm like, "Well, thank you." He's like, "You should make these sorts of videos." I'm like, "I'll think about it." And sometimes his suggestions, I'm like, "Yeah, actually, that sounds like a good suggestion."
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I will probably say that even if I don't think it's a good idea, but like I of course have people that are supportive, and I have someone I know that like even comments on the video sometimes, and you know actively engages with it and stuff. So that's pretty nice. But it's just like there's other people that I've gotten, like even in school back when I was in high school. There's people that like even Gen Zers. It made no sense. Like you guys grew up with YouTube. How do you not understand it? Because they were like, oh, that's not a real job. Like you're like you said before, and they'll be like, What did that one person say? Oh yeah, we had an argument, and I think I told this to John off camera as well. I had this person at my lunch table that both me and Logan kind of didn't really like too much, but we kind of just let him be there because we didn't want to be douches. And we got on the topic of people watching Twitch and YouTube and stuff. I think we actually got into the conversation of my YouTube and stuff. And the kid that was at our table was like, "Oh, people that watch that kind of stuff are They don't have lives or whatever they were saying. I'm like, what are you talking about? First of all, you just offended half the nation, more than that, because I forgot the statistics for YouTube and Twitch, but like essentially, it's like half the world watches YouTube or Twitch.
Right.
So first of all, you just offended all of them, and second of all, people literally make millions off of that exact thing. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I just got so I didn't get offended because they weren't really talking about my stuff, but I just got offended at the part that they're like, oh yeah, they don't have live. It's like, mate, I may not be making money yet, but trust me when I say to you that my internet thing is a little bit more important than you just slouching around on your couch.
Nah, man, they don't have lives.
And he was he was a sports person too, so I was really tempted to be like, well, it's more important than your sports thing. But I mean, sports can be important to some people, so I didn't want to offend. I didn't want to join him and offend a whole nation. But
right. I remember I talked to my brother. I was visiting New York, and I was visiting my brothers, and I was talking to him about Twitch and YouTube. He's like, I don't understand watching streams of things that aren't video games, and I explained it to him. I was like, well, this on YouTube, on Twitch, you're watching Twitch streamers usually because of the streamer more than the the game they're playing. So there's people who are there for just chatting, and there's ASMR streams, which some people like that, some people don't. But it's like not just not one kind of content on there. There's so many different kinds, and then like once I explained it to him, he's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Because he's he's a little older. He's like a few years older than me, so he understands YouTube and like that sort of environment because he also grew up with it.
But at least with him, he was willing to understand that side and listen to it. The guy we were talking to just full on did not care about what we were saying. So,
right.
Like, you guys haven't met Logan yet. We'll see. You might see him way later down the line. Right now, his schedule is abysmal. Like, I don't know what that man's doing. It's not my business, so I don't ask. But his like combined John's schedule, Axel's schedule, and Noah's schedule all into one, and then you have Logan's schedule. Essentially, is what it means. So
maybe he did that. Like, he's just always doing stuff.
Yeah,
I don't even know what, but like I imagine it's. You can see.
It must be important because he can't like record or anything. Plus, he doesn't at the moment. He doesn't really have games that we have. I'm hoping and waiting for him to get like a PC because it's. I think we're gonna be doing stuff there. But like I said, you haven't met him yet. But he's a long-term friend that I've had for a while, almost as long as actually no. I feel like
me.
Yeah, I feel like we might have been friends before you, John, because I think.
I don't remember when I met him. I think it was around the same time I met you.
Wasn't it through me? Weren't we at the same table and we had you join? I can't remember, honestly, at this point.
I can't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah, but either way, like, if we were, like, if it wasn't, like, months apart. Like, that's how close it was. Like, that's how close I was to meeting you, and that's how close I was to being friends with him. So we've been long-term friends as well. It's just that he has a very strict family, and he's busy, and all that. And the strict family probably is playing into it. He probably has chores and a bunch he's doing.
Right.
But yeah, once he gets his own place, he's mentioned that he's probably going to have a lot more free time, which makes a lot of sense. So you might see him later down the line. But my point is that he was at the table with me, so he would also vouch for the fact that kid was not. I don't know. Maybe he just had a bad day that day, but he was not. I don't know. There's something off about him that day. Because he was a Gen Zer, like he was younger than me, and so I didn't understand it at all. But like, if you don't like something, that's perfectly fine. But to discriminate and say that people don't have lives because they like something, that's crossing over a line. That's not even crossing over the line. You're full on dynamiting the line right there.
I feel like unless it's something that you're hurting somebody doing, you shouldn't discriminate people for enjoying something. Unless it's harming others in some way, shape, or form. You're perfectly fine to enjoy it.
Either it's harming other people or yourself. That's where I would draw the line.
If it's not harmful to you or other people, then like it's none of anybody else's business what you enjoy.
Yep. And unfortunately, people don't see that anymore. I think it used to be generally. I think it used to be like that, and then People just don't accept that anymore. They're like, nope, you like this thing, you're different than me, get out of here.
Yeah.
Which is why we started the whole podcast. We want to provoke a conversation with you guys, a friendly conversation, mind you, where you can talk, where you can talk to each other and listen to each other's sides. Like the abortion episode's out at this point, and
Right.
It's one of our most popular episodes so far, which I love, and we haven't gotten any comments on it because I don't think RSS supports comments. I think you have to, the way Distractable does it, they have like a subreddit or something, which we're not popular enough for that yet. But essentially, it's one of our most watched or listened to episodes. I was about to say watched, but it's one of our most listened to episodes, which I love a lot. It's like, I think it's second right now, only losing to Phasmophobia, which long term has been the most popular one. I guess people just like ghosts.
Right.
But I love
especially since Phas is such a popular thing on your channel that it makes sense to people like, oh, Phasmophobia, I know that game.
And we didn't talk about Phas at all, besides maybe one conversation.
It's interesting. Is like that word just means the fear of ghosts.
Yeah. Well,
So
which is interesting because if you type that into Google or anything, it will it will have a red line under it as if it's not a word.
It's so weird. Yeah,
It doesn't make any sense.
that's clearly a word. Google.
And it makes me, it worries me too, is because I'll be putting that into a video, and it'll YouTube will underline it. I'm like, I know that's spelled correctly. What are you talking about?
It's so weird with spelled correct, where it's sometimes so off too.
Oh
But
yeah.
on Twitch, it seems to be so terrible that you can be one letter off from a word, and Twitch will be just I don't know what the heck you're talking about, man. You're speaking a foreign language right now.
Yep.
It's just one letter. You can't figure out what I'm saying, but then I write a word that's nonsensical. It's
I know what that is. Yeah, autocorrect. Yep, autocorrect is so weird.
It's almost like they want you to figure it out yourself. It's you're so close. You're one letter off. Figure it out. And it's no, help me.
Yeah, I get annoyed at autocorrect a lot because I'll be typing the word so, like SO, like that word, right? And autocorrect's no, you meant do. It's no, I didn't. If I wanted do, I would have moved 2 spaces and typed the D instead of the S.
It's worse when you correct it 3 times because it keeps trying to change it. Stop it.
Yep.
Or it keeps changing it to different words other than the word you want. It's no. I didn't ask for this.
Yep. I sometimes I want to yeet my phone to the next dimension when it does that.
It's just kind of annoying. It's sort of tech issues, but it's not tech issues where it's people are oh, it's a conspiracy. It's just how are you this done?
Yeah.
I'm gonna clean the trash can.
Oh, that's right.
It's so strange that we live in a world that is this way.
Well, it's unfortunate too because it shouldn't be the world we live in, but it is.
You'd think after a couple years, people would be oh yeah, no, we shouldn't be discriminating against people who are different than us. I feel we've learned that lesson already, but no.
Yep.
People still do it.
Well, and certain topics we'll talk about on the podcast too, like video game discrimination, where we've kind of already talked about it. Well, not specifically video game discrimination, but definitely I mean, I get what would you call it? YouTube discrimination? What would you call it when they discriminate against?
I don't know.
I don't know what you would call that, but anyway, we one of the topics I planned, either if I do it or someone else does, it doesn't matter, is video game discrimination. Where I kind of want to talk about why does it even happen? I have no.
I'll go somewhere else.
Thanks. Yeah, where we kind of just talk about why, because I don't even know why it's happening most of the time. I'll go on the news if I want to feel bad about myself that day because it's the news, and they'll be oh yeah, here's how video games is warping your mind. It's first of all, there's been several studies at this point that prove you wrong. Second of all, you're only doing this to so you don't lose your job, which I guess is maybe a little bit fair. But like they target video games as if it's some sort of like cancer. It's like, what are you talking about?
It's like the plague of the nation. It's like you play video games, you're just a terrible person.
Yeah, and it's like I literally have seen video games save lives before. Like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I remember my little sister was telling me how she got in like an actual argument with her teacher one day, who was saying how like video games are bad for you or they make you a worse person or just all that terrible propaganda that they spread that how video games are bad. And she was like, she tried to disagree with the teacher, and the teacher was just like, nope, I'm right and you're wrong, and that's the end of the discussion.
Wow.
I mean, that's not terrible. Like, especially from a teacher to have that to the kid. Like, you're meant to be there to, like, you know,
educate,
and you're being so, like, ignorant in that statement alone.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I would have, if I was the parent of that, if like I was the parent of your sister, I would have moved her to a different school. Maybe not even that dramatic, but like at least reported the teacher, because that's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean to give teachers a bad rep, because I had a lot of good teachers, but even if teachers have to admit that there's bad apples out there.
There's definitely bad teachers. There's just like there's bad people who are bad at any job.
Anything, yeah. There's bad apples no matter where you go.
But that's what like makes good teachers just like so much better, because like they deal with a lot of crummy students. And I get how that might annoy a teacher after like many years of teaching. You've just been fed up with these annoying kids.
Mm-hmm.
But like the teachers who are able just to deal with it are just absolute heroes, I would say.
Exactly. Yeah, I had I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast yet, but I had like a really good secondary school teacher. He was it's called BOCES for those that are unaware, and like he was absolutely amazing. Like he was one of my favorite teachers ever. Like he would crack jokes. We had this whole conspiracy that he was a spy. He played along with it because it was hilarious. He had I don't know whose ashes they were, but he had ashes on his desk, and on the thing on the jar it said problem clients or something like that. Previous clients or something like that, whatever it said, and it was previous problem clients, maybe? It was a mixture of the two, I think. And I just found that hilarious when I walked in, because it's like, remember me never to get on his bad side.
Yeah. Teachers who make who make you want to be in their classroom because they're just me or they're good teachers, like that's what makes us like a subject, you know? If you have a teacher who's a terrible teacher, you're not gonna like the subject just because they're a terrible teacher. But if you have a teacher who can like make you want to go to your worst subject, that's a great teacher, because they're teaching you not only because like in a way that you want to be there, but you also want to learn, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I would pretty much agree with that. The only thing I would disagree with is I hate history no matter who teaches it. I'm sorry. The history is just such a slug.
History, you know? Unless you enjoy history, there's not much you can do to save it.
Yep.
And that's not like an issue with the teacher. It's just like...
It's just a subject, yeah.
It's like, I mean, there are people who enjoy it for some reason or the other. It's just like... It's one of those things that if you don't enjoy it, it's hard to make it to the point where you can't enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, it's just like I'm bad at remembering things, so I'm bad at remembering dates and times and people's names, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I always struggled with history.
Yeah, I've never been a fan, definitely.
Mm-hmm. But like, I've definitely had classes where like one year I was like, oh, I hate this class, and then like the next year and I had a better teacher, I was like, this is my favorite class.
Yeah.
It's almost like I had a good teacher, I would have enjoyed myself.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does depend on the teacher, but I mean, certain times too, I think, is that the thing that teachers get a bad rap about too is that a lot of kids like are just like they're just the worst possible person. Like they'll play like intentionally hurtful pranks on them. Like those are some of the most extreme ones, but even still, like I don't know, it's really ridiculous sometimes.
And like, some of those teachers might handle it really well, but like some people they can't handle it as well, and it's sometimes gives all teachers a bad rap or students, but it's like some teachers are just like tired of dealing with that from day to day.
Mm-hmm.
They might have been at one point a great teacher, but because they're at the point of near retirement, they're just like old and bitter. Like I don't want to be like, discriminatory old people, but like it's just the fact that they deal with the same annoying students every single day for years that you would get to the point where you don't want to be in that environment anymore. That's completely reasonable.
Yeah. And like I had a couple teachers that were definitely like that, where they're just kind of sluggish and they were kind of just over, but they were ready for retirement and stuff, so I completely understood that. And they weren't like douchebags or anything. They were just kind of like, okay, you guys, do whatever. Like I'm not gonna give you like they gave us a ton of work and stuff. It's like
Right.
that's fair, but also why?
I had teachers who like they were close to retirement and they just could not wait until retirement, and they hated being at work at every second of the day, and then it was everybody else's fault. Everyone else's problem to deal with it. So,
that I can't say I agree with, but
you could at least try to be at least tolerable. It's only like your job. It's not like you gotta sleep at that school. You get to go home.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a lot more to teaching than like people give credit. It's like they do put in a lot of effort. They don't get paid enough to deal with these problematic children.
Yeah.
I mean, like my my parents was a teacher for a long time. I would imagine they were a pretty good teacher because I never heard people complain about them, and they subbed for people that I knew. But like, sometimes they'll come home and they're like, "These children are so awful. They're just the worst." And I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds like pretty awful. Like, I don't know why you would willingly subject yourself to deal with them on a day-to-day basis."
Yeah, but I've definitely had some like hero teachers that like like for example, one of the the night of my graduation, I wouldn't have seen this teacher otherwise if I hadn't messed up my like timing for graduation. So essentially, people that haven't heard the podcast, because I think I mentioned this on one of the podcast episodes, I couldn't tell you which one. But essentially, I almost missed graduation because they didn't tell me where to go. So I met in the rehearsal area, and they weren't there, obviously. But if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have met the teacher that was there. And they were like my 9th grade English teacher, and I wouldn't have seen them again if I hadn't done that otherwise. So clearly, stars aligned for us to see each other one last time before I graduated and stuff. So.
It's interesting, like some of those teachers that like you would probably never see again, but it's like they definitely had an impact on you throughout high school, and that's like a big part of your life too. Like those, for a lot of people, like those really shaped who they are as a person, because your experience is what shaped you as a person, basically. And you're there every day for 4 years. Like that's a long time.
Yeah.
Or at least at that point in your life, it's a long time. I guess some people are like 85 and say 4 years is nothing to them. But if someone is like 16, 4 years is a long time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's pretty interesting to like see people that like definitely were heroes and for the students. Like I had a teacher who was like one of my favorite teachers because they were so good at teaching in a way that was enjoyable, but also like you would actually learn. There's teachers who are fun teachers, but you don't learn anything.
Yeah.
Then teachers who are not fun teachers, and you don't learn anything because you hate being there. So you gotta have a middle ground.
Very specific set you got there.
You know what? That's all I want to say about the matter.
It's fair.
I've there's definitely teachers who were like, I did not like being in their class, and because I did not like being in their class, I didn't learn.
Yeah.
And the teacher knew I did not like being in their class because they did not like me being in their class.
I think you told me that story before, but they didn't like you at all.
Yeah. And to be honest, I don't blame them because didn't exactly make their job that much easier.
Yeah.
And I talk about these problem children that like you deal with on day to day. I was the problem child.
Biggest anime plot twist. John was the problem.
I don't know if that's the case with all the teachers. Like, it's definitely was sometimes teachers who didn't give anyone respect and just wanted respect without giving it. Like those sorts of teachers.
Oh my god, I hate those people. Yeah, I don't like those type of people at all, dude. They're like, I've met a lot of them too, just like in school and stuff, where they want respect but they don't give it back. It's like, then you're not gonna get any. You're not gonna demand respect from me and then, not give me respect. That's not how that works. Respect is a two-way street. If you're not gonna give it, then I'm not gonna give it.
And sure, like a student might not know as much as a teacher because they have less life experience and they aren't as knowledgeable in what they're teaching. But that doesn't mean that you should act like all your students are really stupid people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Some teachers do that. They act like they can't learn from their students. They will always know more than them, and that's the end of it.
I would also argue that it's some adults, like most adults, do that too. Mm-hmm. It's like you're assuming your kids are stupid. That's not how that works. In fact, sometimes your adults are smarter than you. Like then you're just not willing to accept it.
Right. It's cleaning up a storm here. I'm almost done with this place.
We definitely are. Getting close.
Yeah. School is one of those times, but it's such a big part of the long. Like you're there for a while. Like you're there for a long time.
Usually 12 to 13 years. Yeah.
So that's definitely gonna have a lot of stories from those time periods. Because if you didn't, what were you doing in that time? Like if you don't have any stories from high school, clearly you
didn't do jack. Yeah, exactly.
You might have bad stories, with teachers who are terrible. You might have good stories where funny things happen, but like clearly you have something. If you don't have anything, I don't know what you were doing with your time. I always when I was in school, I was like, people who didn't do extracurricular activities, I'm like, what do you do with all your time? Like, especially people who didn't do extracurricular activities, but like had terrible grades. It's just like, I get maybe you're struggling, but like you have all the time in the world to study, and you're just not doing any. Like, well, how are you doing this poorly? Like I get maybe like there's a stereotype that like all football players get bad grades. And
that's definitely not true. Yeah.
It's definitely not true. But I guess the reason is like because they don't have time to study. But like that's also not always the case because like you have time before games, time before practice that they could be studying. Maybe they don't use that time to the best of their abilities, but that's still there.
Mhm.
And just because like some people they don't need to study, they can get a good enough grasp of their what they're being taught that they don't really need extra time on, but not everyone is that way.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Like I feel like I am a quick learner, and so I didn't always study that much, but I ended up getting decent grades. I mean, until college happened, and then I probably should focus a bit more. Because that can only take you so long, so far. I mean,
yeah.
Like you can only go so far on your talent. You gotta actually study.
Yeah, I mean, well, I do gotta admit something. I don't think I ever studied once. Like, I don't think I ever sat down and, like, read a book. Well, yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think I ever sat down and, like, read flashcards or anything. Like, I just winged it, man. And it worked, because obviously, you know, I'm here. I've graduated, you know.
Right.
Now, I can't say I can recommend winging it. You really kind of, you do need to pay attention to class. That's the most that's like, people don't want to hear that, but that's what you need to do.
You pay attention in class, do your homework. That will take you a long way.
If you have homework. High school, usually, they say high school has the most homework. I think I actually got more homework in middle school.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. There were definitely times when people would be like, "Oh, I got mountains of homework." Like, what are you talking about?
Like, what class are you taking?
Like, what classes are you taking? I have no homework. Like, I had maybe a bit of math homework and maybe sometimes history homework, but like not even that much.
Yeah, it would be a thing where it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, sometimes it would be the smart kids though. It'd be the really popular kids, and you know, it's like, well, you're trying to be popular, so that's why you have, you know, that's why you're, you know, that's why you have like mountains of homework, because you're asking for it, you know.
Yeah. There were definitely kids, and there was this one kid. I think I've told this story before, but he was like so far ahead of his studies that he would ask other people to do their homework for them. Because he was so far ahead, he didn't have anything to do in class. And I was like, why don't you just like spend that time doing something you enjoy? And maybe that is something to enjoy. So I always found it odd. And I didn't know them for very long. This was after I moved. So
Yeah.
I think I was only at that school for a couple weeks. But it was always a little strange. It's like, what are you guys doing with your time that you have all this homework when like what classes are you taking?
Yeah.
After I had moved to my new school too, like I didn't get homework a single day I was there. I got like, I guess you could consider it homework after we were virtual, but like literally all your schoolwork was homework. So I mean that doesn't really count, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it would count.
Like, yeah, everything you're doing is homework. If it's schoolwork you're doing at home, then yes, everything you have at school is homework. I also love the arguments like people didn't do their homework. It's like, why didn't you do your homework? It's like, well, you don't expect me to come to school and do my chores.
That's very true.
Schoolwork is for school, and homework is non-existent.
Exactly.
Yeah, I always felt like homework was really just the worst, you know? Like, why is it necessary?
I can definitely understand that, yeah.
But I guess it does help people, like, stay on top of what they're learning. But I never felt. I felt like it was a chore than anything.
Yeah.
Where is the rest of this dirt?
I have a lower wall over here, but I don't know where the thing is. Must be a little speck or something. I have no clue where this is. I hate you on so many levels. Just want you to know that.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, there's a vertical strike here, or whatever this... Vertical struts? Whatever that means.
I don't know what a strut is.
Either way, it has something on it, so...
Let's see it.
Oh, got it.
There's another one over here, I think.
We're missing a lot if it's not even telling us what we're missing yet.
Yeah, it only tells you what you're missing when you get to like the last 3 seconds.
Up, I have a climbing pole guard. Whatever that means. Oh, this thing?
Guard for the climbing pole. What do you think of me?
Well, I mean... But it's not dirty, though, so I don't understand.
Well, the game says otherwise.
Well, maybe the game's just a big fat liar.
It could be. It's possible.
Oh, there we go. I got it. Okay.
I have seen games lie to me before. Like saying things like, you're not online when you clearly are.
Oh, we didn't even say that. Or no, we did say that, did we?
Yeah, we talked about the technical issues. That was one of them, is that, like, we were trying to invite. I was trying to invite Ethan here, and it's like, no, he's not online. You can't invite him. I'm like, but clearly he is. What do you mean? He's not. Here's some dirt.
Just like, no, you're not online. It doesn't exist. Doesn't exist anymore. He was destroyed into the fabric of time.
Here we go.
Tower
Trim, tower roof struts, and large bridge slab. Those slates.
Tower roof support struts. Up, I found it. Hang on. Oh, that's a tricky bugger, isn't it? There we go.
That's what that is?
Yeah, it was tricky because it was on the bottom part of it. You got the other one though. Tower trim. Tower trim. It must be this thing, right? It must be somewhere here.
Maybe.
Tower trim. Tower tabletop. Tower lower wall. I mean, they're all towers.
I guess we just start spraying. Like, hopefully we
I don't think that's the strategy. Support strut.
Like, what is it? Maybe it's on the roof?
Yeah, maybe. Tower roof, tower vertical struts. What the frick?
Yeah. Thought I saw it for a second.
You might have, and you might have been looking in a different area and it just flashed by. I've had that happen before.
Not sure. Like, I don't even know what it can be considered a tower trim.
Well, they're all towers, so it could be on anything is the problem.
Yeah, but like even like if as long as I can identify what the thing I need to be cleaning is. You know, not even like where exactly it is. If I can find what a tower trim.
Have you saw with something with the name trim before?
Yeah, I definitely have, but
Because I'm not even finding anything with the name trim. What would a trim be? It would be...
it'd be like the edges, like...
You would think, right? But they're called vertical struts.
Yeah.
And then the walls are just called the walls, obviously. We must have cleaned it enough, because, like... we can't even find... I'm pressing tab, I'm like spamming tab, and I'm not seeing anything.
Oh,
Wait.
like the sun is hitting like a yellow part just right, so it looks like what you see when you hit tab, but it's not actually that. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Blue floor, tower... Oh, it's not this, is it? Okay, good. I was gonna say that'd be stupid.
I don't like no clip.
I'm a...
Like, most
Have you
things
done
I'm
this
like,
level?
oh, yeah,
Have you done this level before?
I have, but it was been a while.
Oh.
But even then, I never had issues with this sort of thing.
I think it must... Oh! Wait. I found the thing. Oh, yes! It's you little bugger.
Oh, that's a tower trim?
Yes, this is a trim. Got it. Man, that was sneaky.
Let's watch the time lapse.
I'm so upset that you get a time lapse. Oh wait, no, I get a time lapse. I just had to go into it. Okay, there we go. I didn't get it immediately though.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely did most of the work. You have a way better power washer than I do.
Yeah, but that's just...
That's a cool... I love they give you a time lapse. It's so like visually appealing if they give you that.
Yeah, they used to not be in the time lapse your little character model. You would just see the cleaning. I prefer that actually.
Really? You just prefer your the cleaning thing than over the character?
Like you're seeing all the dirt just like get slowly washed away.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Especially in like the vehicle ones.
Yeah.
Because they're smaller that you kind of like your character's got kind of in the way of the cleaning.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like if we do another one, it will take another hour at least.
Yeah, I think we end this one here, and then we'll come back to it maybe at a later date.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, do you got any final words for the audience before ending off?
Well, I did just close the game, and I didn't mean to do that. But anyway, I mean, it's a pretty. I didn't give this game a chance initially because I'm just like it's not my type of game, right? It's a really slow burner, and it continues to be a slow burner. Because there's games that like start off as slow burns and then they really pick up. This game will always be a slow burn because you're cleaning, right? And I don't like cleaning in real life, so I feel like cleaning in a virtual game, to me, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That's why House Flipper is not one of my favorite games ever. It's a good game, but it's not like one of my favorites. But after giving it a chance and after it's definitely more fun playing with somebody than playing by yourself. I would say. But I don't know if I'll do this as a series besides what we're doing with John. So I probably can't guarantee I'll do like the campaign or the career, I think is what they call it, on videos and stuff. But what I can guarantee is me and John will probably return to this game and do basically this exact same thing except just different maps, obviously, or maybe even vehicles. And I can't confirm he can confirm his own thing, but I can't confirm that I will do that on my channel. So and then anyone watching from John's YouTube, then this is irrelevant to you, but I mean, I'm just saying that I probably won't be doing it because it's I mean, just one person talking, I don't think I can come up with all that stuff to say.
Right. Definitely doing it alone, it's not. I don't think it makes for great content, but it makes like a good stream game, but not a good YouTube game.
And I'm not on Twitch yet, and I don't really play. Unfortunately, given how things are right now, I don't think I'm gonna be on Twitch for a little bit. I think I want to reach I want to get my first play button, and then I'll worry about Twitch. I want to focus on YouTube first. Obviously, that's why John's focusing. Would you say you're focusing more on Twitch or YouTube right now?
Definitely more on Twitch, but I've been making YouTube content. Usually just cut down stuff from my streams.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because
I want to do more YouTube content in the future. Different stuff than just cut down streams.
Gotcha. Yeah, because if people have asked me, oh, what do you... Because people that do understand it, like what we were talking about earlier, that do understand my job, and they're like, "Oh, are you on Twitch? Or are you making music or whatever?" It's like, no, I'm on YouTube right now, and I'm focusing on that for right now. I'll probably branch off into other stuff later. In fact, I'm working on a song right now, but that's it's a different type of media. And so I want to focus on YouTube right now, and I mean, it's a fun experience because, like I said at the very beginning, or for you guys watching me, the very first episode, this game is it's one of those games that you can just sit back, relax. You don't have to watch the visuals. You can put this in the background while you're cooking or while you're sleeping or whatever. Because we also don't scream. We don't. I mean, I'll scream. There's a very rare occasions where I'll scream in either enjoyment or rage, but this is not one of those games. Obviously, we were calm the entire time. I think I can say that. I don't think we were.
The motorcycle incident.
Yeah, and we had some nice conversations because it's interesting because if you're friends with a person, you know how to start the conversation, you know how to continue it, right? And that's why I think Mark's idea with that worked because him and Jack have been friends for a long time, and so them starting a conversation, just going with the flow, worked perfectly. And I think it worked perfectly with us too. I think I can say that.
I definitely want to maybe bring in other guests for this, people that I've known. Definitely not some random person I don't know. I'm not going to be like, oh,
hey, homeless person, how would you like to be on a Twitch stream?
How would you like to play Powerwash Simulator? I know you don't even have a home to clean.
How would you like to not get paid and do chores at the same time?
Yeah. But no, I'd probably bring in people that I know from Twitch, other long-time friends that I know that I still hang out with. So, if you're interested in that, that'll be on the horizon.
Yeah, I saw in the menu too is you can have up to 6 players playing this game at once.
Yeah, you can. I feel like some of the bigger maps, it's just there's some of the bigger maps that make sense that you would want 6 people, but imagine cleaning that van with 6 people.
It'd be done in 2 minutes.
Yeah, you wouldn't even have an issue. It's just all right, everyone aim at the truck, start shooting.
I just love that scene. Just like, all right, everyone, on your marks, get set. Oh, that'd be hilarious. But no, yeah, man. If this was a pretty good experience. I gotta say, like I said, I didn't give it a chance at first, but I guess I should start teaching myself to give games a chance if I'm not sure about them. But yeah, if you have an open game and you want to do some recording with that, then just give me a day and a time, and should be able to make it, man.
Alright, I think that's it. I've stopped recording. I didn't do an outro, but...
Oh, I was wondering why you just suddenly stopped.
Also, he was said talking in the background.
Oh, gotcha. Well, if Sean's ended his, I might as well end mine. So thank you guys so much for watching. On the left, there will be a series category for this. So I'm probably just going to call it... What should I call it? Because I'm not going to be playing the core game. I'll figure out something. You'll see it on the left there. It'll already exist. And then on the right... I don't think I've done House Flipper recently, so I don't think I can recommend that. But maybe another relaxing game on the right. I'm not sure. And of course, guys, consider subscribing if you like the content you're seeing. Every series we've done to this point will finish. Like I said, don't expect too much with this game. The only thing you can expect, though, is if John and his friends want to do this again. And at that point, we'll probably do it. So, but like the campaign, I'm probably not going to worry too much about. Oh yeah. In case I haven't said it already, which I already have, but I'm going to say it again. Me and our friends have a podcast, which John here is featured in it, and Noah's also in it. And we're called The Provokers. You can search us up normally, or you can use the handy links in the description. That'll take you directly to the sites. We're on Amazon Music, Spotify, all that good jazz. Pretty much everything except for maybe Google and Apple. Because Apple wanted us like $50 subscription to be on their platform. Nope. We upload an episode every Friday around 6 p.m. So there you go. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time.